Hey everyone, I'm Annaliese. If I haven't gotten the chance to meet you yet, I recently graduated high school and I will be moving on to college in the fall. And this is actually, thank you. This is my third Arizona, so I'm so glad I get the opportunity to share my story with you today. So before I met Jesus, I actually didn't know he was an option. Growing up, I had been told that there was a God through the Catholic Church, but I had no idea he was the God I know he is now. All I knew back then was that he was some being up in the sky and that I hated going to church. The stories I learned there were boring, and frankly, I just didn't see a point in attending church with my family on Sundays when my mother would just pretend that we were some perfect family just to go back home for me to get yelled at. But we also barely attended church anyways, so I didn't see the point in going no matter what. And then at the age of 10, I had to go through the situation where my parents got divorced, and that was really hard for me. The loneliness I had been feeling prior to my parents getting divorced had gotten even worse when they actually ended up splitting up. I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere before, and so I didn't understand why I would never fit in, why I didn't belong anywhere, and so it kind of got, even worse when they split up. I almost thought there was something wrong with me, like I had done something to cause their just fighting and their disagreements. I felt so alone and isolated, and suddenly like I couldn't trust anyone with anything, not even my own feelings. What was even worse than that is that my parents hated each other, and so I had to become the mediator in my family. I took on burdens like being the only communication between my parents. If there was something going on, if one of my parents wanted to go on vacation, take my brother and I with, I had to figure out what dates were okay and whatever else I needed to figure out. And on top of that, from the age of 10, I had to learn how to raise myself, mostly emotionally, because my parents weren't great at that. And I just want to preface that I would never wish that upon anyone. My parents' divorce is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. And I just couldn't stand to see another human being go through that. But as I entered into middle school, my circumstances did cause me to spiral, and I quickly fell into a deep depression. Before I knew it, I had no will to live. For 3 years, I struggled with my purpose in life. Did I even matter? Was I here on the earth for a reason? And would anyone even notice or care if I just disappeared one day? I almost felt like a zombie. I was numb to the world and everything around me. I felt dead inside, but on the outside, I let people think that I was okay. I never spoke to anyone about what was going on in my heart, and so it's a little scary being up here sharing everything. And I never ever shared with anyone what my home life looked like because I was embarrassed by it. No one else at school had parents who were divorced or parents who would argue, and so I just never shared any of that. The only life that I knew was that of pain and suffering until Jesus found me. It was so unexpected for him to find me, and I didn't think that life meant anything, that I would ever get a second chance, that I was even loved and created on purpose and for a purpose. But in 8th grade, I met Jesus through social media. Countless videos of Christians reading the Bible sparked my curiosity for God, and after a year of watching videos like this, I was so inspired to purchase my own Bible. The moment my Bible arrived, I began reading it, and I don't think I've ever read more in my life than I did in that first week of having my first Bible. From that point on, the Lord began to transform me. He started He started to show me that this life is actually worth it. He showed me that I was, in fact, made on purpose, and that he loves me, and that I do have a purpose in this life. The Lord healed me from my depression, and I do still struggle with anxiety, but the Lord has given me such an unexplainable and overwhelming joy and peace in my life. If you know anything about me, I try to actively choose joy, and God has He's just given me so much courage and joy in this life, and I was not that way before I met Jesus. God literally brought me from death to life. Before I met Jesus, I had no idea he was an option. I didn't even know I'd give my life to him. But I'm so glad, and I'm so incredibly grateful that I did, and that he saved me and chose me as a part of his kingdom. Because he gave me purpose and a life worth living. Jesus means the absolute world to me. And so I'm so proud to share with you guys today, and just to say that he is my best friend. He is my father. He's my provider. He's my promise keeper. He is the author of salvation. He is an intercessor. He is my creator. He is the way, the only way, and he is my rock and my firm foundation on which I stand. Thank you for listening. If you want to hear more, because there's still so much more to my story that I haven't shared yet, but if you do want to hear more, come find me. I'm always open to talk, and I love just sharing about what the Lord has done in my life. But now I would love to welcome up the rest of my team for our dance. So I hope you enjoy.